Harper, I'd like to meet with you to discuss your case. What the prosecution has is pretty damning. I know that you have an eye for details, so don't leave anything out.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Messy Movie Reviews. So I review anything, movies, TV shows, pop culture. Subscribe if you want to. Okay, so today we're talking about MEA CULPA. It's a Netflix film, came out this year, 2024, and it's like an erotic thriller. It stars Mrs. Kelly Rowland. And if I'm honest, guys, Kelly Rolland is the only reason I watched this film. I don't make it a habit to watch Tyler Perry films. In my opinion, they don't tend to be very good, and in my opinion, they're quite low vibrational. But I was like, okay, let me check it out. And I think Kelly Rowland actually produced in this film as well. So I thought maybe she might have some positive influence on Mr. Tyler Perry. But he did do majority of the work. So he produced, he directed, he wrote all by himself, which is a problem because the writing, unfortunately, is one of the reasons why I can't really rate this film any more than a 2. The plot and the storyline wasn't very good, and the actual dialogue was just not very good. It just was not very realistic to how normal people communicate in a day-to-day life. It felt the acting was okay. Kelly did okay. Trayvon, who is played by no, his name is Trayvon in real life. In the film, his name is Zaire. He was okay. He wasn't great. So I know he's been in quite a few, high profile films and TV shows. In this film, he was very subdued. I'm guessing that's to do with Tyler Perry's direction. I'm not sure. But overall, the acting wasn't the best, but it was okay. One thing I did like was the music. That's about it, to be honest. I would probably give this film a 2 out of 5. If you guys have watched this film, let me know what you would rate it. Yeah, because I just didn't think it was very good. But anyway, let's get to the actual story. So we have got Mrs. Kelly Rowland. She's married to this man. His name is Cole. They've been married for a few years. They don't have any children. But they're in couples therapy when we first meet them, and he has to leave early to go and see his mum for her birthday. But she says to the therapist, I always wanted a man who's devoted to his mum, but this type of devotion, I don't know. And I think that just kind of sets us up kind of for the rest of the movie, because he prioritizes his brother and his mother over his wife, and we're going to see that time and time again. And if I'm honest, the main thing I was thinking throughout this film is, why is Mia staying in this marriage? The husband lost his job. He was a doctor and he was misusing the drugs. He was taking all the drugs in the job. And his mother, this lady over here, hates Mia, doesn't treat her very well. She literally said, I wish she was my daughter-in-law to another woman, in front of Mia, in front of the whole family, and no one said anything. No one defended her. She didn't stand up for herself. And I was thinking, this seems like quite a sad life where the people that you spend the most time with, they basically don't like you, including Ray, the husband's brother, who also doesn't like her and low-key threatens her. And she's just like, da 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 da. I'm just like, what? I don't understand her motivation for staying. And so she's got a sister-in-law who's kind of her best friend. They're both mistreated by this family, and they're just there, not really standing up for themselves. And considering Mia is a lawyer and she does really well for herself, she's a smart lady. I'm not really understanding why she's staying in this really toxic situation. It almost seems like, I think maybe it would have been good if we had a background of her own family or other friends that are not, to do with the family, because maybe she didn't grow up with a very healthy family, so she's just grateful to have someone and to have some kind of family unit, even though it's really, really toxic. But anyway, we get into it. So Mia is trying to make some money, some extra money, even though they seem to be living really, really well, you know. She's like, we need to pay the bills. So so she decides to represent Zaya's character because he's been accused of killing his girlfriend. And she starts to kind of interrogate him, get more questions alongside her friend Jimmy, who's also a private investigator, and he's supposed to be the best in the business. So he says to Mia, either he's lying about killing his girlfriend or he's a psychopath. And Mia is like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So when we fast forward, spoiler alert, when we fast forward to the end of the film and we find out he didn't do it, it makes you think, what kind of investigator is this? What kind of body language expert is this? Because he got it wrong. Do you know what I mean? He got it wrong. Not to mention, so going back to the husband. So the husband is kind of seeing he's friendly with a girl he used to date when he was younger. I think he was in high school. Jimmy gets a picture of them going into a hotel room, and he makes Mia believe from the picture that her husband is cheating. So Mia is like, well, if you're gonna cheat, I'm gonna cheat. So she gets, you know, flirty, she gets close with Zaire. They have a little romantic scene with gold paint. Not gonna describe that too much, but it was very sensual, very romantic. Yeah. But then we find out that the husband wasn't there with the girl alone. The whole family was there to help the mum after chemo. But when we get to the end of the film, we basically find out the mum faked the chemo. I don't know why. This is part of the storyline, doesn't really make sense. I don't know why, if they wanted to frame Zaire, why they had to pretend she had chemo. And all the money the son was sending to his mum, where was that going? Because clearly she wasn't receiving treatment, so she was just stealing money from them, which I think is just crazy. Like this mom, the mum and the brother, these two, crazy, crazy. Like their motivations don't make sense. So anyway, we find out that Ray, the brother, set Zahir up because he was sleeping with his wife. I'm sorry. I just think if you're upset about her cheating, either get a divorce. But this whole elaborate scheme, this whole elaborate lie he had, it was, I don't know, I just found it like, really? That's what happened? So it turns out that he didn't kill anyone. Mia goes away. So after Mia's husband, Carl, finds out that she cheated on him, she kind of runs away, has a little kind of break. I think she goes to the DR, and she's kind of running, doing her morning run on the beach. She walks past this cleaning lady, and she's like, "Wait, I know you." They chase after, or she chases after the cleaning lady, and we find out, dun dun dun, that is actually Zahir's girlfriend, who he was accused of killing. So she's alive. She manages to escape from Kelly Rowland's character, and Kelly, being a bit dumb, she calls Ray and she's like, "Oh my god, she's alive." And he's like, "Come, don't go anywhere else, come straight here." I just think it's really stupid that she would trust this man. I know maybe from her point of view, she doesn't know that he's done anything yet, but he's just a menacing character. Like, doesn't her intuition tell her something is off? But she goes to his house. She finds out everything. The mum doesn't have cancer. She finds out that they've got Zaya's paintings in the home, and she finds out that her sister-in-law was actually sleeping with Zahir in the first place, which is what motivated Ray to want to frame him. Um, no, they get into a big fight, but she ends up managing to run away. She gets in the car. she gets in the car, crashes the car on a tree, and then she starts running away because he lives kind of like on the outskirts in like countryside. She starts running away. She sees her husband. Now remember, the husband is devoted to his mum and his brother. So again, I feel like Mia is being a little dumb by just accepting what her husband was saying. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll drive you to the hospital." Of course, he's driving her straight back to the house. She unclips his seatbelt, swerves the car into like an oncoming truck, and he basically gets flung out of the car. Everything is settled. She tells the police what happened. Ray gets arrested. We are left to assume that the sister-in-law died, and we're left to assume that the mother-in-law died because we don't see them getting arrested. And then we just have like an ending scene where we see Zaire coming out of the courtroom, and he's freed and he thanks Mia. And that's basically the film. And I think one, like I mentioned at the beginning, I think what kind of made it difficult for me to stay engaged with the film, I didn't understand the motivations of some of the characters, in particular Mia. I mean, even Mia's friend, sister-in-law, was kind of being abused as well, and she was staying. I just don't know why them two just didn't say, "Listen, we're out. Like, it's time to go." um, yeah, and some of the acting unfortunately wasn't the best. I think I found the mum's acting not very well, not very good, and I think her husband's acting wasn't very good. Kelly Rowland's acting, in my opinion, was quite good, and like I mentioned earlier, her and Zaire had quite good chemistry, but he was very subdued. The way he delivered his lines was like, "Yeah, I'm not a murderer." And it's like, sir, you're fighting for your life. You need to really be more convincing than this. And there was a moment in the film where she was she was quitting. He fired her, and she quit, and he'll fire her, and she'll quit, and he'll fire her. And it's like, you guys do realize that this man's life is in danger. He's about to go to prison for life, and they're acting like, high school sweethearts. Like, what's going on? But yeah, anyway. Anyway, yeah, 2 out of 5. I don't really think I could give it any more than that. It's one of those movies you watch without trying to really take it too seriously. You just put it in the background. I do really like Kelly Rowland as a singer. And I think she was good. She was okay as an actress. Um, yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. If you guys have watched it, I would love to know what you rate this film. And if you want me to do more film reviews, let me know. And again, my channel name is Messy Movie Reviews. If you like the review, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you so much. Bye.